Alright, welcome guys. Another day, another video on the Acolyte. Not planned. I don't frequent Screen Rant very often because they're a bag of shit, to be honest. Terrible website. However, they spoke with Dafne Keen, who of course starred in the Acolyte. And she says some dumb stuff, and I think it's worthwhile taking a look at because, of course, you know, this is kind of going out. This is like their dying last breath, isn't it? Or last dying breath, whichever way it is. And it's comical to take a look and see what these individuals say. When it first got cancelled, everyone was kicking and screaming. It was hilarious. The comments from everyone was just downright laughable. Now, the figures come out. It's undeniable that it was just a disaster. And it was obvious, patently obvious why it got cancelled. But again, this is the last dying breath. I doubt we'll hear much past it this year. In fairness, I think this year we'll see the final comments on the Acolyte. And then it'll be put to bed and fade into obscurity. So it's fun to cover it. In the meantime, hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. And definitely hit subscribe, all those returning viewers that are not yet subscribed. Because you do keep coming back. But anyway, let's take a look. So, here it is. Yeah, Dafne Keen addresses the Acolyte's overwhelming cancellation. Yeah, indeed it was overwhelming. Overwhelmingly shit. Not that it got cancelled. That was great. Although I will say this. You know, I would have liked it to continue just purely from a comedy perspective. Such a bizarre show. Weird that it got greenlit. Just generally weird. It's weird how Kathleen Kennedy... $230 million it cost. $230 million. Honestly, that's such a bizarre production. It effectively got greenlit because Leslie the Forehead Headland cornered Kathleen Kennedy and others on a red carpet and basically pitched it to them. And they saw fit to give her $230 million. Which is just bizarre. Really bizarre. Like, there must be an audit on that money because it was not on the screen. Whoever thought... Like, I understand greenlighting it. In concept form, we're going to do a murder mystery in Star Wars. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, interesting. Like that as a pitch. Yeah, sounds interesting. There's going to be familial ties. They're going to be strained. Yeah, that works. Yeah, all works. But then the execution, you're like, ooh, that's dog shit. That's real dog shit. You'd have thought someone would be reviewing those scripts and going like, bruh, what are you doing? What is this? You know? But no, apparently not. Anyway, that's what I mean by weird. Just overwhelmingly weird that this thing even made it off the ground. At every single stage of production, someone should have stepped in and gone, whoa, what are you doing? Let's cut it back now. What is going on? This is crap. But no, Disney, they do this with Marvel stuff. They just spaff money up the wall on dog shit. But anyway, whatever, I digress. Sorry. Let's take a look. So anyway, the Acolyte star Dafne Keen has addressed the show's cancellation, expressing pride in her character and her colleagues. Now, the funny and dumb thing is she expresses pride in her colleague for how she handled the cancellation, namely Amanda Stenberg, but she's obviously, you know, she threw her toys out of the pram like an idiot. But whatever. So it says there's a unique Star Wars TV show set during the High Republic era. I guess everyone must have been high. They just wanted to get into the vibe of the High Republic, so they're all just really high, and that's why they thought it was good. Roughly a century before the Skywalker saga, the Acolyte proved remarkably controversial because it was shit. It was subject to a review bombing campaign. No, it wasn't. It literally wasn't at all. All the reviews you'll find on Rotten Tomatoes are actually very well thought out. Yeah, there might be one or two, but it wasn't review bombed. Even I didn't review bomb it. Like, I genuinely reviewed it. Like, I was genuinely looking at the narrative, going like, this doesn't make any sense. These motivations are dumb. You know, this look cheap. This is terrible dialogue. Like, it was a genuine review. It wasn't just me slating it. But anyway, so yeah, it says the Acolyte was sadly cancelled in August last year. The first Star Wars Disney Plus show to be officially cancelled. It's because it's poo. Speaking of Screen Rant's Tessa Smith at the Saturn Awards, the Acolyte star Dafne Keen has admitted the cancellation was difficult, but insisted she remains proud of her colleagues. So this is the dumb thing. It's definitely, I think, overwhelming for all of us. Yeah, well, especially Amanda Stenberg, because she's literally not working anymore. I'd be overwhelmed with that. Like, ah, shit, I've ruined my career by kicking my toys out the pram. I think we were all very proud of what we created. I know I'm very proud of my character. I was very proud of how my friend Amanda handled the situation. You what? You're proud of how Amanda Stenberg handled the situation. Look, Dafne Keen, all right? You might be attractive, which you are. My God. Look at her Instagram. However, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You didn't need to say this. Amanda Stenberg quite literally lashed out at all of the fans of Star Wars, not the Acolyte. Obviously, there's no fans of the Acolyte. But point is, Amanda Stenberg was an absolute turd. She was a bitch. I did a video on it. She's an absolute loser. She was just crying racism, my sexism, all this nonsense, as opposed to looking at it and going, yeah, actually, this was pretty shit. Yeah. Pretty terrible, to be honest. It's so bizarre. So bizarre how none of these actors can just look and go, oh yeah, it's not very good. Like, I understand because you're in it, so you're maybe a little bit biased. But you must be able to look at things objectively and just go, yeah, this isn't very good. Like, I've done that. My first short film isn't very good. Right? Like, it's not a very good thing. There are elements of it which are all right, but by and large, it's not very good. Other people may like it, but I can look at it objectively and go, yeah, it's not very good. But that's how you get better. And then I made something called Bjorn and Frida, which I'm incredibly proud of. Made it in a day. Search for it on YouTube, or I'll leave a link down below, or above. Go check it out. I made that. Wrote, directed, edited, all in one day. But that's only because I could look at myself and go, yeah, objectively speaking, some of this stuff just doesn't land. Like, some of this just isn't good. And that's important. It's really important. But yeah, apparently these people just can't do that. Annoying, really. It's always racism or something else. And honestly, I'm a huge nerd myself. So I was just really happy that I got to play a Jedi. Bucket list ticked. All right, sure, whatever. And that's kind of it, really. There's nothing else there. You know, Screen Rant then add their own bollocks to this because they're idiots, as they always do. And they're like, oh, Acolyte was divisive before it even released. You know why it was... Do you know why it was controversial before it released or was divisive? Because you hired the former assistant of Harvey Weinstein. It's a bit weird, mate. It's a bit weird. And she was an idiot in interviews as well. That's why it was divisive before it released. But anyway, there you go. I don't have much else to say, to be honest. Just more dumb shit, doing dumb shit. Let me know what you think down below. Take care. Bye-bye now.